Tag TV and Tag Radio. Be seen and heard by both technology users and technology producers throughout the state of Georgia and around the world. Low cost, big benefits, powerhouse online branded video and audio has arrived. Tag TV, Tag Radio, there's a lot more to know. This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you by Globalspeak.com, new media consultants, corporate video and audio communications, video and audio production and distribution, live and virtual event production. Tag TV and Tag Radio is a service of Globalspeak.com, creatively delivering powerful marketing, video, and audio solutions. Founded in 1873, yet sitting in the middle of a fiber optic superhighway with high-speed connectivity as fast as any in the world. You could say it's Mayberry meets Star Trek, but boy, would you be wrong. Its mission, education for life and leadership in a global community. It's nestled in a magnificent mountain setting about an hour north of Atlanta. It is the state's second oldest university, first to admit women, and one of only 6 senior military colleges in the entire United States. The State Board of Regents designated it as a Georgia Leadership Institution. The state legislature designated it as the Military College of Georgia. More than 6,000 students, an Army ROTC Corps of cadets comprising nearly 13% of the total student population, and a university that offers more than 50 majors to prepare students for nearly any career. There's more, and it's coming at the high speed of the digital superhighway. Greetings, everyone. It's Friday, March 23rd, 2012, and this is a special Premier Tag Member Showcase Focus edition of Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mantella. I'm your guest host, Frank Baia. It's changing North Georgia by light years, a digital road system called the North Georgia Network. And the 130-year-old North Georgia College and University, well, it's right in the middle of a future of connectivity and broadband speeds as fast as anywhere in the world. Getting the Tech Talk up to that high-speed future of opportunity for students and businesses alike, Dr. Bryson Payne, Chief Information Officer at North Georgia College and University. Having served as the university's representative on the North Georgia Network's grant project team, Dr. Payne helped in successfully gaining over $43 million in fiber optic broadband internet investment to bring tens of thousands of Georgia families and future business and economic development, well, to the right side of the digital divide. He was the 2010-2011 chair of the University System of Georgia's CIO Advisory Council, the professional organization of the 35 universities and state colleges, CIOs, and IT directors, and serves on its executive committee. He's a member of the North Georgia Network's board of directors and chairs its organization's community advisory board. The North Georgia Network, building and operating 1,100 miles of fiber optic system. What makes it unique? How will it bring an impact to North Georgia, to the entire region, and to the entire state? The Tech Talk gets the inside track on the high-speed superhighway of the future that's changing the entire state at the speed of light. As we speak with North Georgia College and State University CIO, Dr. Bryson Payne. Well, Dr. Bryson, if I can call you by your first name, welcome to Tech Talk.
Thanks, Frank. It's a pleasure to be on the program. I appreciate you having me.
Well, it's exciting to have you tell us a little bit about what's going on one of our favorite places in the state, and that's up in North Georgia. But I think some pretty amazing things have happened over the last couple of years. A lot of, I think, people that are, instead of sitting back and watching things happen, have started to stand up and make things happen. Give us a little, if you will, a little background about what I think most of us know is called the North Georgia Network.
Well, thank you. It's been exciting to be a part of a program like this. We've got a $43 million project to deliver ultra-high-speed internet through an 8-county area of North Georgia. It started out as a 5-county effort in combination with North Georgia College and State University to get fiber up to Dawson, Lumpkin, White, Union, and Forsyth counties. And it became a 260-mile terabit network funded by a U.S. Department of Commerce stimulus grant, the One Georgia Authority's Bridge program, and some matching support from the 5 counties, the university, and a couple of electric membership co-ops.
Now, again, maybe cite some of the actual cities instead of counties that some of our listeners may recognize.
Oh, absolutely. As you come up from Cumming, you hit Dawsonville, Dahlonega, Cleveland. We'll go over to, in Habersham County, we'll be running through Clarksville. All the way up to towns will be Hiawassee, Young Harris, Blairsville in Union County, all the way over to Blue Ridge and down Ellijay, down 575 and back to Atlanta. We're actually creating a 260-mile loop.
Well, you know, again, I think many of us, because of day tripping or tourism or the seasons or being outdoors people of one kind or another, know the cities and not necessarily the counties. And when you actually break it into those locations, it's a wonderment, because when you think of the quality of life and you think of the cost of living, and now combined with the global interconnectivity of being able to pretty much the promise of the Internet and the promise of the broadband or the digital network to be able to do business and handle education, but also communicate in ways that you could just about anywhere else, like the city of Atlanta for that matter, without all that great stuff going on.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time to be around. There are not many other places on the planet as beautiful to live as what we have up here in the North Georgia mountains, and to have this kind of connectivity is really exciting.
Tell us a little bit about the North Georgia College and State University. Give us a little insight into that.
Well, we are a 6,100-student university nestled up here in Dahlonega, Georgia. We are going through a consolidation right now through the Board of Regents with Gainesville State College over in Gainesville. And so we're going from 6,100 students this year to just over 15,000 students next year with 4 campuses. So it's an exciting time to be at North Georgia, just like it's an exciting time to be in North Georgia.
Well, obviously, the network's going to mean a lot to the possibilities that it represents and the opportunities that it represents for this kind of a expansion. What will the North Georgia network mean to the university?
Well, this will make us one of the few gigabit universities in the state. We'll have over 1,000 megabits, 1 gigabit of total connectivity to the Internet, with plenty of room to grow. Our students will have Internet speed on par with UGA, Georgia Tech, Georgia State, Emory. It's a pretty impressive leap from where we've been in the past. And we are planning to apply for GIG-U consortium membership as well. GIG-U is a group of universities that support regional economic development in addition to having high-speed fiber themselves. We would be the first university in the state of Georgia to gain membership.
Amazing. That's impressive is the first word that comes to mind. Tell us a little bit about what that translates to. We just said counties to cities. Talk about how that type of advanced speed and high technology will not only leverage the university's capabilities and outreach to its students, but I'm going to assume to the general business community and to the private sector as well?
Absolutely. Well, some of the first places we're connecting are anchor institutions. That's healthcare, medical, libraries and schools, anchor businesses, bigger manufacturing and high-tech industries that are already up here in the mountains. We plan to we're already enabling schools to offer faster and better communications, expand distance learning opportunities, support some of the bandwidth-hungry applications like e-commerce, e-government, high-definition video, allow businesses just to compete better in the global economy. We really hope to see more robust healthcare services, even telemedicine, take off up here in the mountains as well, and give our citizens world-class access and connectivity. One of the phrases we used early on in this project was bridging the digital divide between broadband haves and have-nots. We're trying to bring thousands of North Georgia businesses and families to the right side of that digital divide.
And there's no telling how many businesses could now look at that area that wouldn't be able to if they didn't have the infrastructure and that kind of access to that kind of capability. So I'm guessing that there, from a regional standpoint, there's a lot of planning and a lot of strategies being laid out for inbound investment and expansion of existing industries. You mentioned, I can only imagine from some of our listeners and some of our members, the opportunities that are up there to help with the evolution that's going to happen once the connectivity is there. All of the technologies need to be presented. So one would guess that there's going to be a lot of business opportunities in the first phase, but as it develops out, there's going to be even more as you begin to attract more brand, if you will, or awareness of the general area and its infrastructure and its benefits, and then start to attract inbound investment. Maybe talk a little bit about the impact it's going to have, or your leadership group is seeing for the region.
Well, that's absolutely correct. This began as an economic development program. We were really finding, actually, two of our local economic development authority directors were finding that businesses were saying that it was, quote, too painful to locate up here in the North Georgia mountains because of the lack of broadband connectivity. And after Bruce Abraham, our Lumpkin County Economic Development Authority Director, and Charlie Oberman, our Dawson County Economic Development Authority Directors, heard that a few times, they got together back in around 2006 and started talking to one another about how we could get over this painfulness for businesses that wanted to locate up here but had high technology requirements. And that wasn't always a high-tech company that we would lose. Sometimes manufacturing companies that just needed to send and receive really large CAD files found it too difficult to locate in this area because they just could not either get their files in time, and they definitely couldn't send them out as fast as competitors in other regions could.
Well, I think anyone that's in the industry certainly understands that where does technology stop anymore? It isn't just about technology companies without question. It's like you say, whether it's healthcare or it's manufacturing, financial services, logistics, it's all across the board, and it's all backed up by technological infrastructure that depends on this kind of connectivity.
100%. And we're in education. We were running into the same problem.
Sure.
We were doubling our Internet traffic every year or so, and the infrastructure in the area just couldn't keep up. I joined the NGN planning effort back in 2007 when I became frustrated with our local service providers' inability to provide the kind of bandwidth we needed for the long term. And it's been a very fast 5 years since that time, but a lot of good things are coming.
Well, but I would say it's going to be even faster. You know, we talk about Internet years, about 7 years or something. I think, the next 5 years ought to be, I don't know about dynamic or fluid. I think they're going to be phantasmagoric. I think as things start multiplying and magic starts really happening, all kinds of possibilities are going to occur. Well, we've talked a little bit about the network. We talked a little bit about how you're involved in the university and the expansion on the university. That sounds exciting in itself. We've touched upon the region. From your opinion, how does this benefit the state? I mean, how does this region, from a tourism standpoint and from so many other things that have traditionally been there since the state has been a state, yet now all of a sudden there's this whole new economic development opportunity. Talk a little bit about your feelings in terms of how it's going to benefit the state.
Absolutely. The ultra-high-speed fiber in the North Georgia network just adds to the story that Georgia already has to tell. The governor said it best at the Georgia Chamber of Commerce meeting back in January. Georgia is the economic engine of the South. We're not just moving North Georgia to the right side of the digital divide. We're adding to the economic engine of the state of Georgia. We're giving businesses one more reason to bring jobs to the state.
Well, Dr. Payne, Bryson, I'm as I mentioned earlier, a knowledgeable about that region. I love that part of the state. It's a beautiful country to begin with. The great people, great opportunities, a lot of newcomers that I think are impacting a lot of vision and change, a lot of the old guard who have stayed their course and continue to believe and continue to invest. And now I think you've got the proverbial tiger by the tail, I think, and it's going to be fun to watch you guys take this thing and really watch it mature and watch it happen. Thank you so much from not only the busy schedule you have at the university and college, but taking time from your this whole leadership situation that's going on as far as the North Georgia Network to join us today on Tech Talk.
Frank, thank you very much. It's an exciting time to be in North Georgia, and I really appreciate the time here today.